Hi everyone, it's Paddy here from arithmetichub.com, thanking you for choosing this video, but reminding you that whilst this is one method to solve questions like this, it's not the only method. With that being said, let's explore this concept a little bit further. Hi everyone, so today we're looking at adding decimals to make one, or adding decimals to make a whole. And these questions look something like this: which two numbers add to make one? And you've got a series of numbers with decimals in them: 0.48, 0.527, 0.67, 0.32 and 0.473. And the same sort of down here. Which two numbers add to make one? 0.231, 0.15, 0.599, 0.401 and 0.85. So what is the method for this type of question? Well, let's have a look. So part one of the method says, make sure all of your decimals have the same amount of digits after the decimal point. Add placeholders if you need to, and this includes one itself, because that can be the part where this becomes a little bit confusing and tricky when you're working with one like this without any decimals after it. So what we would do is we would change one to one with a decimal point after it, and we'll go through that in a second. But first things first, I've noticed that these here don't have the same amount of digits after the decimal point. Here, 0.48 has 2 digits after the decimal. Here, 0.527 has 3 digits after the decimal. So what I would need to do is add a placeholder here to be able to make sure that this works, okay? So, part 2 says, check for number bonds that make sense. Now, you've probably been doing number bonds since you were in year 1, particularly number bonds to 10. So what we should be able to do is say, right, this 7 and 3 is a good start because they would go together really well. This 8 and this 2 is another great number bond that would go together to make a number that's going to end in 0. Because we know our 1 is going to be 1.000. So we need to end in 0. If we were to have this 8 and this 7, and we were to add those together, that's not going to give us a number that ends in 0, is it? It's not going to be possible for that to work out. Okay, so let's have a little look at finding those number bonds and being able to spot them straight away. So, part 3 says, check your answer using the column method, don't guess. Sometimes you'd go, yeah, you know what, that just makes sense. I can just see it straight away. I can see it. I know that this is going to work. And actually, when you get a point, you get around to adding them together, you realise, actually, this is a little bit more than one whole, or this is a little bit less. Okay, so let's do the first things first, shall we? Make sure all your decimals have the same amount of digits after the decimal point. So these all need to have 3 digits after the decimal point. Okay, so I'm going to put my placeholders in where I need to. 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits after the decimal point, and now all of them do. Okay, so I've got 0.480, 0.527, 0.670, 0.320, and 0.473. This only works because I can add as many placeholders to these as I need to, which is what happens with my 1 over here, because 1 is the same as 1.0 or 1.00 or 1.000 like that. We don't normally write it like that, but it's the same value, and sometimes you might have seen that when you were doing, for example, division with decimals. So 1.000 is exactly the same as 1, but that now means that everything here has 3 digits after the decimal place. So now what I'd be doing is I'd be looking for my number bonds. Okay, well 0 and 0, if we add those together, that is going to give me a number that ends in 0, which is a good start. That's the first thing I'm looking for. So all of these could be options, because actually now I have 700ths as well. 700ths and 300ths would also be a very good starting point for this. Let's check over here then. So if I've got 0.48 at 0.67, straight away 4/10 at 6/10 is already going to get me to 1. And I can see that I've got more in the hundredths, so that's not going to work. Then again, let's have a look at my 0.48 at 0.32. So if I was to do this, 4/10 at 3/10 is only going to give me 7/10, and I'm only adding 2 numbers together to make 1, so that's not going to be able to work, is it? So now what I would do is I might say, right, okay, what about if I add my 0.67 and then I try with my 0.32? They both end in 0, which is a good start. 6 add 3 is good because it means that actually I've still got some more room to add them, but then 700ths add 200ths is actually going to give me 9. So if I was to try this, what I might do for these types of questions is I might say, right, 0.670 add 0.32. 3, 2, 0. And we'll just try it out. 0 add 0 is going to give me 0. 7 add 2 is going to give me 9. Immediately we've got a problem. 6 add 3 is going to give me 9. And then 0 add 0 is going to give me 0. So it didn't work. So we can say, actually, you know what, that hasn't worked. Doesn't mean we can't use any of these numbers, but it just means that one didn't work. What is a really good point to look for as well is usually these tenths. You don't want them to be a number bond to 10. You want those to actually add to 9 because you're probably going to have to add other things as well. So the ones that would add to 9 here would be this 4 and 5 and this 4 and 5. So we've got 4 tenths add 5 tenths, which is a great start. But then we've got 8 hundredths add 2 hundredths, which is another great number bond to 10, but then we've still got 7 thousandths, so that's not going to work. What about if we try over here? 5 tenths add 4 tenths is going to give me 9 tenths. 2 tenths add 7 tenths is going to give me 2 hundredths add 7 hundredths is going to give me 9 hundredths. And then 7 thousandths add 3 thousandths is actually going to give me 10 thousandths. So if I think about this, well, I'm going to need to carry it, and actually that's a really positive sign. So let's give it a go and let's add them up and see what happens. 0.527 and 0.473. Make this 7 clear as a 7. 7 add 3 is going to give me 10. 2 add 7 is going to give me 9. Add the 1 is going to give me 10. 5 add 4 is going to give me 9. Add the 1 is going to give me 10. 0 add 0 is going to give me nothing. Add the 1 is going to give me 1.000, which is exactly what it was that we were asking for. Let's try that again with this one for a second example. So, which two numbers add to make 1? 0.231, 0.15, 0.599, 0.401, 0.85. Check in with our method, make sure all your decimals have the same amount of digits after the decimal point. 3 digits, 2 digits, 3 digits, 3 digits, 2 digits. So I'm going to make sure they all have 3 digits after the decimal point. Again, I'm reminding myself that I need to make 1.000 because I need 3 digits after the decimal point here. Straight away I can see some that aren't really going to work together, can't I? This 2 tenths and this 1 tenth is never going to be enough if we're only adding 2 numbers together. This 8 tenths and this 5 tenths is going to be way too much. So again, I'm looking for these number bonds. And we said looking for number bonds to 9 can be really helpful. What about 8 and 1 then over here? In fact, I think that this might work. Let's have a little look at it. So let's put them together to start with. 0.850. I'm going to add 0.150. 0 add 0 is going to give me 0. 5 add 5 is going to give me 10. 8 add 1 is going to give me 9. Add the 1 is going to give me 10. 0 add 0 is 0. Add the 1 is going to give me 1.000. But I also have spotted another one that might work, because sometimes with these, there's more than one option. So I think 0.599 at 0.401 would also work, because if I'm adding 1,000th to this, this is becoming 0.600. If I'm taking 1,000th off this, this is becoming 0.400, which is a number bond to 10 again, isn't it? So let's try this. 0.599 add 0.401. 9 add 1 is going to give me 10. 9 add 0 is going to give me 9. Add the 1 is going to give me 10. 5 add 4 is going to give me 9. Add the 1 is going to give me 10. 0 add 0 is 0. Add the 1 is going to give me 1.000. So both of those methods would be correct. You could have had either of those numbers. It just says which two numbers add to make 1. Sometimes there'll be more than one option.
If you found this video useful, then I would massively appreciate you liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you want to explore more methods or practice using the method we've looked at here, why not check out the teacher videos at arithmetichub.com. Arithmetic Hub has videos just like this on different methods, specifically targeting areas needed in Key Stage 2. There you can practice one particular skill or generate your own sets of calculations designed to challenge your understanding of all the topics covered in Years 3 to 6.